Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Water Conservation Month. Happy Water Conservation Month to you, Water Woman. Yeah, so April, if you didn't know, April is Water Conservation Month. Who's been to a Lunch and Learn before? Okay, so you've never seen me wear this, right? That means it's very special. Today is very special because, I do a lot of education and outreach, but I do it for kids. But I've had so many grown-ups say, hey, that sounds really cool. Or they see me at an event, hey, I like your outfit. You should do this for, okay, don't threaten me because I will do this for grown-ups. So that's what we're doing today. So today is just a big celebration, guys. We have so many responsibilities and grown-up things that we have to take care of. Today, let's just be kids. You want to be kids today? We got balloons, we got candy, we got fun straws, we got all these great things to celebrate. But this all would not be possible without our sponsor. So our sponsor, as always, is E1. I have Joe Papadakis here with me today. I'm going to give him a few minutes to tell you about what E1 does.
So everyone who's been here has heard me about this. Is a grinder system that some of the homes have. Some of the homes are also on gravity, so you wouldn't have this. But I also just want to remind everybody, we don't want to flush certain things, all right? We don't want to put paint down there. We don't want to put gases, oils, grease, especially wipes. We go to the store and we see that it says flushable wipe. But if you flip it over on the back, it says, if it's going to any kind of a grinder system, do not flush it. Everything, whether you're on a grinder like this or gravity, it eventually goes to some type of grinder. So don't flush wipes. It helps save your system, less call-outs, okay? The other thing about water conservation is everything that goes down your drain, your toilet, goes to a plant, all right? Some of the plants in different areas use that water again, all right? We're not to the point yet where we're drinking it in Port St. Lucie, but those days are coming. But there are areas. I know a gentleman who owns a golf course, and he also owns the wastewater plant, and he uses the reclaimed water to water the golf course. This is in Key West, so it's the greenest grass anywhere in Key West. So, and the animals love it. The ducks and the fish and the turtles are still in the ponds doing everything that they normally do. There's also a jail somewhere that it saves us taxpayers' monies when they can use the reclaimed water to flush the toilets. So we're not using the regular water, wasting it. We save that for ourselves. So just keep that in mind, that anything that you flush down the toilet or goes down your sink, we're trying to reuse that. And then in the next maybe 15 years, we're going to see that where we're reusing that water. We're drinking all that water that goes back down. It's getting cleaned, and it's coming back to us. So because our aquifers are drying up, and we have to let them grow. And Port St. Lucie has done a great job of conserving water, of saving water. The basins that they build, the stuff that goes back into the ground that we can reuse in the aquifer has been great. So let's save water.
Thank you, Joe. I wanted to acknowledge another E1 representative, Jim Welsh, is in the back here. Yeah, wave to Jim. So they work all over the country, but they're kind of like our Port St. Lucie people that we take. We have a good working relationship with them. So thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. All right, let's get down to business. Obviously, water is the most important thing on the planet. You can survive for 3 weeks without food, but only 3 days without water, right? So when astronauts go out exploring, they're looking for evidence of life. They always look for water because that means there's life there, right? So water, again, is so incredibly, incredibly important. So now remember those pre and post tests, we're going to talk about it. You answer these at the end, remember? Those post tests, you answer those after. But for right now, how much water covers the Earth's surface? Anybody know? Anybody recall their third grade science class when you learned about this? Oh, I'm hearing a lot of right answers. I'm hearing 75, 90. So as I spin my globe around, that's hard to do with one hand. As I spin my globe around, obviously, you can tell there's more water, right? So we know it's over half. So if you said anywhere between 70 and 75%, you are right. I always say about 70 to 75%. Yes, good job. I always say about 70 to 75% of your surface is covered with water. So just to give you a visual of what that looks like beyond my globe, everybody got a puffball, right? stand up with your green puffball. Stand up with your green. Let's see if my math is good here. All right, so that's good. So you're all green puffball. Okay, so that's the land. That's how much land we have on the planet. Land, sit down. Now, if you have a blue puffball, you're the water. Stand up if you have a blue puffball. Yes, good math. Good math, water woman. Yes, okay. I just wanted the visual to show you the difference. So there's clearly way more water on our planet than land. All right, that worked out great. Yes, and I'll need those puffballs at the end, guys. Sorry. Now, out of all of that water that's on the planet, how much of it is fresh? Right? So everything that we talked about, everything on my globe there, that's all ocean water, that's all salt water. Salt water's amazing, but we can't drink salt water. We're not there yet, right? We're not drinking that yet. Brad, you got an answer for me? What are you doing? How many? Between 2 and 3% is fresh. Anybody else have a guess? 10, 15. Anybody else have a guess? 20. Anybody else? 25. This is like The Price is Right. Yes. It's a real. I wish it was 25%. I wish it was 10%. It's a really, really small. That's what we're going to talk about here in a minute. So let's pretend that this bowl holds all the water on the planet. All right, you guys really are going to be in the splash zone here. No problem. Okay. All right, there's my bowl. So that's all the water on the planet. I know, but Brad, you're stealing my thunder. About 3% is fresh. 3 out of all that water on the planet, about 3% is fresh. 2% frozen in glaciers for now. 2% is frozen. We're left with 1%. That's what we've got. Out of all that water on the planet, 1% is accessible. So that's why we're here. We're celebrating that 1% today, okay? Oh, no, I still spilled it. All right, we're going to leave that there before I make a mess. Okay. So again, just about 1% is accessible. So where's that 1%? Where do we find it, right? So we can't go, put the glacier, right? We can't chip a piece off and bring it back with us. Where do we find fresh water? Give me some water bodies that are fresh water bodies. Go ahead. Oh, aquifer. Anybody else? Lakes, rivers, groundwater, runoff. Yeah, that's it. You're all right. You are all right. When I talk to kids, sometimes, no offense, kids, it's not you, but a lot of kids are like, the ocean. I'm like, no, we just went over that's salt. Anyway, so yes, lakes, rivers, streams, ponds, canals, right? But here in Port St. Lucie, what water resource do we tap into? If you've been to a lunch and learn, you've probably heard this before. What do we tap into? Yes. Oh, and the Floridan aquifer. No, he got the right name and everything. So yes, in the city of Port St. Lucie, we tap into 2 different freshwater resources. We have the surficial aquifer, which is closer to the surface. So that's more like 50 to 80 feet deep. And then we tap into the deeper Floridan aquifer. The Floridan aquifer is the largest freshwater resource in Florida. So many other municipalities use that for their drinking water. So that's more like 1,500 feet deep. So we have 47 wells all over the city. Some are surficial, some are Floridan, but that's where the drinking water comes from. So if you were to go outside and sort of break down all the layers of the ground, we've got all that green stuff on top first. We've got the grass. What's under the grass? Sand, right? Sandy soil. All right, keep digging. Keep going. What's under that? Eventually you're going to get to water, right? It doesn't take much. We've got a pretty high water table, so eventually you will get to water, but the aquifer, it's sort of a confining layer, right? So you've got kind of layers, rock layers underground, but you've got water in between a couple of those layers. So just to give you another visual, because I love visuals, here, we'll take my bowl here so I don't make a big mess. So there's our aquifer. I mean, it's, looks more like a habitat for some kind of a lizard or frog or something. But anyway, that's our aquifer. So how do we get the water up out of the ground? Anybody know? Wells, good. So wells are just like fancy, expensive straws. I see John Easton, our engineer back there, is like, Jenny, they're not straws. But you know what I mean. You know. All right, so we've got, like I said, we've got 47 straws or wells all over the city. All right, who's thirsty? Yeah? You want to drink? Yeah? No, we're not going to drink this straight out of the ground, right? We need to treat it first, right? So how do we treat this? We can't send this to anybody's house. Anybody know how we treat our water in Port St. Lucie? Water treatment plants, yes, good. Filters, yes, good. Chemicals, yes. Say it again. Reverse osmosis, yes, exactly, reverse osmosis. So that's what we do. So we bring up all of this water up out of the ground. It goes to one of our our water treatment plants. First, we have to get the stuff out of it, right? So this is the number 5 micron filter. Micron is a measurement. Is micron really, really big or really, really small? Super small, right? So a 5 micron, just to give you an idea of how small 5 micron is. Dang, not a gray one. I got plenty. They're coming in. All right. 5 microns is the thickness of one strand of hair, right? I can barely see out of my glasses. Yes, it's in my fingers. Okay. Yes, so 5 microns is about the thickness of one strand of hair. So once that water comes up out of the ground, it goes through huge canisters that have a couple hundred of these filters, and then anything in the water that you can feel between your fingertips gets stuck in here. So these do not stay white, clean for very long, okay? So these get changed out regularly once they get full of stuff. So our aquifer has a lot of salt, because we're close to the ocean, sand, silt, sediment. That all gets trapped in here. Now the reverse osmosis part comes in. Now we have to get things out of the water that we can't see with our eyes. So that water, through pressure, is pushed through vessels and travels through these. This is just a cutout. A real one is huge and it's heavy, and frankly, I can't pick it up. So they gave me this little cutout. But the water gets pushed through these membranes and it spirals around, and you're left inside with what's called permeate. So that permeate is just super duper, more science, super duper cleaned up water. So now anything in the water that you can't see with your eyes has been stripped out. But now the water, it's almost too clean, and we can't serve this to you either. So we have to put some of the water back in after it went through this, because this doesn't take out the minerals, right, and the nutrients and things that are in water that we need. So we have to add some of that back in. So that is a very super 3rd grade level explanation of reverse osmosis. There you go. You're welcome. All right. Why is water so special? Anybody know? Well, yes, definitely survival. Anybody else? We're made out of water. What, do you know the percentage? Same as Europe? Yeah, I think, yeah. Like 70%, right? Yeah, I need some water right now. Hang on one second. So water is so special. Yes, obviously we can't live without it. We need it desperately. Our plants need it, our animals need it, anything that's alive needs it to survive. But water is so special because it's the only thing on the planet that can be found in 3 different states. And I don't mean like California or West Virginia. I mean like it occurs 3 different ways. You're probably most familiar with water in its liquid form. And you can see my liquid has ruined my label here, but so we've got water in its liquid form. Anybody else know a different state or form of water? We've got water in its solid form. Now, what did we do to go from liquid to solid? we changed the temperature, right? So we put it in the freezer. So now we've got ice cubes. And I always ask the kids, they're like, did you bring real ice cubes, Water Woman? No. I had to bring fake ones. Watch out, the kids will eat these. They put them right in their mouths every time. So no, I have to bring fake ones because otherwise it wouldn't be a good demonstration and go back to being liquid. All right, so we've got liquid, solid. Anybody know the third state that water can be found in? Yes, gas or vapor. I brought some with me. You want to see? Ready? 1, 2, 3. This is the part where the kids yell at me. So obviously, you can't always see water vapor, but there's water vapor in this room right now. If you go outside, it's humid. That's water vapor, right? Because the sun heats up the earth. We're going to talk about that in a minute too. But as water heats up, it rises up into the air. So you can't always see it, but it is always around. You can see it at home when you're boiling water, right? Maybe you're driving to work early in the morning. The air temperature's cold, but the water's warm. You see the kind of fog, right, or steam rising up. So that's why water is, I'm leaving stuff everywhere. I'm like, where's my stuff? That's why water is so special. It's the only thing on the planet that can be found 3 different ways. This is the fun part. I need volunteers. I need first somebody to be my son. My S-U-N, not my S-O-N. S-U-N. Who would like to be my son? Anybody? Yes. Come on up. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Brave. So brave. Now, these are puppets. You don't have to, if you can fit your hand in there, but otherwise you can just hold it up. Okay, yes. So we're going to, again, I told you, we're going back to 3rd grade. We're going back to 3rd grade. We're going to walk through the water cycle. So my son here is a super duper important part of the water cycle because she heats up the earth, right? So when you heat up the earth, what did I say? When you heat up the earth and the water heats up, the water, it rises. I need somebody to come up here and be evaporation for me. Who would like to be? Yes, Uncle Mike, thank you. Let's see here. You know what's funny? I didn't bring my evaporation puppet. Well, do you know? No, stand up here. Do you know why? No. I didn't bring an evaporation puppet because they don't exist. I looked everywhere, Amazon, everywhere. They don't have them because you can't see evaporation. So you just get to stand up here. So again, the sun heats up the land and the water. The water rises up into the air as evaporation. Thank you. We can't see you. Yes, rises up into the air as evaporation. So as all that water vapor is rising up into the air, it latches on to particles that are floating around up there to form, not yet, not rain yet. We're not at rain yet. So I heard somebody say it. Clouds. Who wants to be a cloud? Come on up, guys. Yes, thank you. I don't know why they all look so petrified. They're like, no, I don't want to be a part of this. All right, so we've got solar energy, evaporation, condensation. It's all those good shun words. So we've got condensation. So a cloud is water. Thank you. Yes. Now, when the cloud gets heavy and it gets gray and it starts to thunder and lightning, then what happens? Then it rains. Who wants to be precipitation? Yes, thank you. Boy, this front row is tearing it up. I told you we were going to do kid style. Here you go. There you go. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Brad. Thank you. All right, so we've got, so one more time, we've got solar energy heating up the earth. We've got evaporation. We've got condensation. Now we've added precipitation, right? So now we've got a good shun word. We've got rain. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot what else. Before rain, I forgot. It's a new puppet, that's why I forgot. So there's another part of the water cycle because obviously not just us, but our plants and trees, right? Anything that's alive needs water to survive, but these guys are also part of the water cycle. So who wants to be my tree? Can I get a tree? Can I get a tree? Yes. up, buddy. You want to come up? No? Okay. You want to be a tree? Oh my gosh, look at all these. Look. One of these kids. Get him, Mom. Tell him what's up. We don't want to traumatize him either. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. All right, so Mom is the tree. So mom is another part of the water cycle called transpiration, another good shun word. Transpiration, again, is so awesome. And this is my favorite part about trees and plants is because they're not greedy. They take what they need, and whatever water they don't need, they release into the atmosphere, right? They don't just soak it up for themselves. They're like, oh, I'm plenty, I'm full. Let's release it up into the atmosphere. So between evaporation, now you've got water rising up, right? You've got clouds, but you've also got trees and plants and bushes and flowers releasing their water up into the air too. So boom, boom, boom. Sorry, I skipped you. Now precipitation. Okay. So lastly, we have, anybody? Lightning? Do you want to, here, you be lightning. I have a lightning puppet, but I never use it because I can never fit it in. But if you want to be lightning, you can be lightning. Here, you be lightning. All right, so the last part of the water cycle, so once it rains, now we've got rain falling down, right? So rain falls over water bodies, but rain also falls over the ground, right? So it doesn't just stay up on the ground, it percolates. So the last part of our water cycle is percolation. That's my favorite of the shun words, percolation. Sure, go down. Lightning, yes, yes. All right, so now we've got percolation, so we've got the water, right? We've got the rain going over the land. Where did I say our drinking water comes from? Yes, so if we've got precipitation, right, and it's pouring down rain over the land, that water is going to sink into the ground. It's going to recharge our water table, and it's going to eventually make its way down into our aquifer, right? So the water on the planet that's been going through the water cycle has been doing that for billions of years, just going through. The problem now is that we have so many people walking the earth and using water all the time that we're not giving the water cycle enough time to go back through. Okay, so Joe had mentioned, the aquifers are drying up. We've just got so much use right now, right? So we've got so many people utilizing these water resources. This is why we need to do whatever we can to help save, because we have to have water, right? We can't not have water, but we can absolutely make sure that we're using less throughout our day. Let's give our water cyclers a big hand. Thank you. What do I have against it? Erosion, that's a good shun word. We'll add that one next. Okay, so now the fun part, right? So, ways to save. So we're gonna brush our teeth every day, hopefully twice a day, right? Where's my daughter, right? She's got braces, so she's brushing them teeth all the time, aren't you? Yeah, so we're brushing our teeth twice a day. So the dentist recommends that you brush for 2 minutes every day. So just by turning the faucet off in the morning and at night, you can save 8 gallons of water. Just by turning the faucet off, you save 8 gallons of water. A shower, now it depends on the shower head because there's a lot of low flow shower heads out there, but a 10-minute shower is about 25 gallons. So if you can get that down even further, then you'll be using less water. If you take a bathtub can be anywhere between, if you fill it up all the way, can be anywhere between 50 to 70 gallons. Maybe just fill it up halfway. Right? I know that maybe not be the most luxurious bath if you're in there like and your half of your body's up out, but either way, do your best, okay? But those are some really easy ways to save water. We're all done eating, right? Okay. You saw me pull out the toilet. Oh, okay, everybody's done eating? Okay. So another really, really, really easy way to save water is to not use these as the same thing. This is a toilet. This is not a trash can, right? Because you don't use this as a toilet, right? So you don't use this as a trash can. Every flush, depending on how old your toilet is, some toilets use like 7 gallons of water to flush. The newer ones are more like 1.5 gallons, which is great. But if you're flushing trash, if you're flushing dental floss and cotton balls and wipes, don't get me started on wipes. Don't flush them. You can use them, just don't flush them, please. That causes us a whole other set of problems. But you're wasting a flush on those things. So you want to make sure you're only flushing the business. You see, it usually squirts when you lift it up. I didn't put water in it today because you're grown-ups and I didn't want to squirt you with my toilet. So you want to make sure that you're only flushing the business and you're throwing away your trash because that's a waste of water. What else do I have up here? And then when you're washing your clothes, you want to make sure that the amount of clothes matches the load size. So if you're just washing a couple things, change the dial to small load because it's going to use less water. Now I always do full loads. I wait till I have a full load before I even run anything through the washing machine, but mine's always set to large load because I've got so much stuff in there. So you want to make sure that you're adjusting the load size. And then I was kind of surprised to learn this, but with dishwashers, they actually use less. It makes sense, right? Because you're kind of washing all the dishes at the same time. So with a typical dishwasher, you're only using about 6 gallons of water versus hand washing, right? You got the water running, you're kind of doing one dish at a time. Even if you fill up the sink, that'd be better. If you have like 2 sinks, you fill up one, kind of rinse. But yeah, just keep that in mind. And again, same thing on those. Don't run the dishwasher if you only have a few dishes in there. And then lastly, on your way out, I have a great worksheet where you can calculate your water footprint. So it takes you through kind of your average day and tells you kind of how much water you're using per flush. You know, if you're washing your face, if you are brushing your teeth, if you're doing laundry, you kind of go through and fill that out, and then you can total up your usage at the end. Anybody have any idea the average amount of a family of 4 uses, like per household, of water per day? Anybody have a guess? 100 gallons? 1,200 gallons? 150 gallons? 200? These are good. I mean, I had no idea, but about 250 gallons. About 250 gallons per day for 4. You guys, you have 4 kids, right? Yeah, that's a lot of water. 3, that's a lot of water. Yeah. So about 250 gallons a day is the average per family. So again, when you add it all up, it really adds up quickly. But there are so many different ways. And the other thing, especially with kids, because they take care of their pets, if you have, you're like your dog dish with, water and there's a little kibble in there, it sounds silly, but every drop counts, right? So if you're looking to, give your dog fresh water, you can dump it on a plant, right? You don't have to dump it down the sink. It's just kind of retraining your brain to think about ways to use water, right? And again, every drop counts. So even if it's a little tiny bit, if you find that bottle of water that's been in your back seat for a month and you're like, ew, gross, there's stuff growing in it, you don't have to throw it away. Just dump it on some grass. The only thing though, with fish, with aquariums, if you are changing out that water, just make sure you remember that the fish, they don't just live in that water, right? They go to the bathroom in that water, they eat in that water. So if you are changing out your aquarium water, don't put that on anything you plan on eating. Like if you've got tomatoes growing in the backyard, don't dump your food, right? Just don't mix those things. Anyway, but you can like your cooler of ice that's melted, just really just start to think of things like that. Does anybody else have any good water saving tips that they do? Go ahead. Yes, wash your car on the lawn. That's a great idea, right? That's a great idea because it just goes. I always say wash your dog on the lawn too. I don't know how effective that would be, but definitely wash your car on the lawn. That's a great idea. Anybody else? Go ahead. Okay. Oh, I see. So instead of letting the faucet run to get hot water, when you start washing your dishes, you heat up water in the tea kettle and then do that. Right? Yeah. Anybody else? Go ahead.
If it's yellow, let it
He went there. If it's yellow, let it mellow. Yes, you can save it that. Oh, do you need? So don't flush your number ones, just leave those, right? Number two, then you flush, right? Yeah, you got more?
If there's two people in the household and you both take showers every day, make sure the showers are back to back.
I thought you were going to say something else. Okay, I got you.
Two taking a shower at the same time does not save water. It takes long.
You sound like you speak from experience. He said, if you guys could hear him or not, I'm sorry, I'm laughing too hard. He said that if you have two people in the house and you're taking showers, make sure that you take your showers back to back, which, no, take one and then take the next, right? Because you said because you've already got that hot water going. And then he gave us another bit of advice. If you think you're saving water by showering together, he said not so much. No? Because you still have to. I got you. Okay, what you got, bud? What you got?
Long showers? Don't take long showers?
Yes, thank you. He knows. Yeah, don't take long showers. A good way to keep track of your shower, if you don't have one of those handy dandy shower timers, is to pick a shower song. You know, if the shower song is about 5 minutes or so, make sure that you're wrapping up kind of when that song comes to an end. Did you? Yeah.
I catch water to water my plants.
You catch water like in a rain barrel? Or, yeah, to catch water to water your plants? Yeah. No, they like the rain. Yeah, of course. Anybody else? Go ahead, Wayne.
This saves electricity.
Here, you wanna say it?
This saves electricity. A lot of times when you have your faucet, you have it set on, say, hot. And you turn it on, you're going to get cold water until the water gets from your tank to the sink. So make sure you have them on cold all the time and just leave them on cold, because if you have it in the middle, it's going to turn your hot water tank on and actually heat water to bring the water up to that medium temperature.
Awesome, thank you. Today's also Wayne's birthday. Say happy birthday, Wayne. Wayne is an amazing city ambassador. He does a lot of work with Keyport St. Lucie Beautiful and just all over the place. So thank you for all of that. So happy birthday, Wayne. We did this for you. You didn't know it. This was your birthday party. All right, folks. Anybody else have any more water saving tips? Okay. I really appreciate we're going to end a little bit early today because you've been great students. You got something?
Just a general comment.
He doesn't need a mic. Go ahead.
I'm a loud guy. As we sit here today, concerned as we should be about water conservation, as a community, we're at cross purposes. We sit here and worry about water conservation in this group, yet at the same time, we're having explosive growth in this community of new rooftops. Can you imagine what the demand is every day of every new rooftop that goes in? We're sitting here trying to save water, but at the same time, we've got new homes exploding out there in the west.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So we're cross purposes. So we've got to decide as a community, what do we want?
Well, you're all ambassadors now, so you're going to help spread the word to all those people moving in here, right? Like, hey, make sure you're only, taking a 5-minute shower, guys, make sure. So again, it's about education, right? It's about education and information and engagement. So you all today, you're already engaged. I so appreciate this. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Say that again. Well, it's all connected, yeah. I mean, not a ton, but yeah, there is some salt in there that we've got to get out. But some places go to the desalination route, but that's very expensive. We're not there yet. There's some places that don't have, a lot of freshwater resources, so they are desalinating ocean water, but that's a very expensive process, and we're not close to that yet. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I was wondering if they test the water on a regular basis in this area where the Spanish Lakes have been an issue. I called Spanish Lakes, they said they had no idea what it was testing.
Our water that we send out every day gets tested multiple times a day. Oh, we have to. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no, we have to. Yeah, we have to. We have to make sure. And then they have different testing sites around the city where they go and they test. So you can kind of tap into different parts of the distribution system to make sure that. Right, right. Our distribution system's about 1,400 miles long. So just to give you an idea how far that would go, if you were to unearth all of that pipe and lay it end to end, it would get you from here to Milwaukee. Right, or even a little bit further. So yeah, that's a lot of pipe, and it all has to be tested all the time. What? Last one. Yes, thank you so much. If you are a City of Port St. Lucie resident, you can call us. If you have any concerns about your tap water, they're going to love me for this. You just call the main number and you request that your water be tested, and they will come out and test your water for you. So, all right, we are going to wrap up. We've got raffle prizes that we're sitting on. You guys, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it.